Track number 3 is being presented at the room upstairs to us from the company Halcaps on the topic, how will we work in the future? Anyone interested in track 3? Please raise your hand. Please join our colleague Narina, pink shirt right at the end of the hall, and join track 3, enjoy Halcaps. And now I'm quite sure that we have the connection to Zagreb and Martina from Transcom. Do we have Martina? We shall wait until we get the connection to Martina from Zagreb, which is actually at the talent acquisition and management team of Transcom. It is my pleasure to invite Mr. Dario Jukić from Transcom to join us on stage and have a little chat when it comes to Transcom and the role they're playing in the regional BPO industry. Please, a huge applause for Mr. Jukić. And I see our dear friend Martina is online. Dario, welcome. You may have a seat, yes?
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Hi, Martina. I will just switch my position right here so you can see me and I can see Mr. Jukić. We will do a quick introduction by Mr. Jukić. Actually, a question that we've been asking ourselves a lot is, what does it take to show such courage as Transcom did while coming to our market? Because we have so many factors that shaped the story of Transcom arriving in Bosnia and Herzegovina. First one was COVID, a global challenge we all faced. And second one was your strategy that you used, because I remember the beginnings of Transcom when it comes to ABSL, when we were first time introduced to the concept of so-called suburban BPO, which basically means for our audience, which I know understands, is not going to the center of a certain country, but searching for smaller and mid-sized locations and the talent there. So Dario, please feel free to explain, what does it take, which amount of courage to do such an operational thing in our market?
Thank you, Adi, and hello everybody. It is great to be here for the second time on this second annual conference from the ABSL. Also from our side, it is great pleasure to support this kind of the events.
Thank you.
And the ABSL as a company, so we can, work together in order to create a better environment for our business. Basically, I will just share a couple of highlights and just share the intro, and then I will leave the stage to Martina. She will present our story from the talent acquisition perspective in Transcom. Basically, everything started in 2019. Of course, with some market research, where we have been approached with some, let's say, our partners here, so we can explore the market and to see, do we have some kind of the talents that are good enough for our business and for our company. Due to this exploring, we understand that, of course, our main aim was to, bring the Transcom in the capital city. But then during the research, we understand that also there is a really significant talent pool on some other locations, so we can use for our purposes. Also at that point, when you are entering the new locations or the new country, of course, the talent and the market are not knowing you as a brand, as a company. So we enter in the Bosnian market some way, let's say, from the backside, and start with our preparations for entering our first site in Tuzla in 2020. Basically, everything was set up, and then, of course, the pandemic has started. It was really, funny story at this point, because everything was raised without any senior management presence, and due to the fact that there was, the borders was closed and there was no traveling, and we were lacking about some equipment to deliver to our sites, everything was done with our partners, to open the first site in Bosnia. Then we understand that our, let's say, the calculations are, working, and we are delivering the new talents as we have been planned. So we immediately started with the planning for our 2021. Basically, here we have some kind of the few milestones. The first one is opening the new site in Zenica, to some way connect our cities that is, pretty much closely to each other. And then further that year to receive also some kind of the praise and rewards from the business side, but also from the market side. We have been recognized as a top 3 companies in our business for the 2021 by the largest company for the hiring agency. Also in 2021, we received a great praise as one of the biggest foreign investors in the Bosnia and Herzegovina. So this was really a huge success for our company. And then, of course, we decided, where should we go next? Then we decided that it is time, to open the new site. And this opening ceremony was in the March 2022. And we opened the new site in Banja Luka. So let's say combining all the story, currently at this point, we have been experiencing by the new milestone when in this month we hired the 400 employees in Transcom. So basically our strategy has been, executed, and it was, proof. We have some kind of the proof of concept for maybe some other locations or other environments, global countries, so we can, enter on. And pretty much, this is it. Also now we are working on some the new good things what will happen in this country, and also, for some, let's say, future. Stay tuned. We will inform you.
We surely will stay tuned when it comes to the amazing story that Transcom will deliver to our market. And it's the perfect opportunity to mention that this workshop, mainly an online one, has many viewers actually coming from Poland. So Martina, I hope you won't be too much excited for our online audience. I know you can handle it. And that the workshop for talent management is actually brought by you from Transcom, which we're really grateful for, because it's a proof for us at ABSL that strong partnerships can exist in the market and can evolve and grow further. And for this stay tuned part, we for sure will stay tuned and see what's next for the Beyond the Brilliance team, as we like to call Transcom. So Martina, I think Mr. Jukić and I had a nice introduction when it comes to your expertise. Please feel free to share it with us. And welcome once again. Hope to see you soon in Sarajevo.
Thank you, Adi. I hope you can hear me well.
Yes, we hear you properly.
Great. I would like to say at the beginning that it is really a great pleasure and honor to be invited to this great conference and to be able to hear all different experiences from other companies. Thank you, Adi, once again for inviting us and for giving us the opportunity to also share our experience in Bosnia, which I think that is really successful and valuable to mention. So, and also I would like to point out at the beginning that I'm sorry for not being able to be in Sarajevo and to be able to walk around like the colleague before us, but I will do my best to tell our story virtually, as virtual work is anyhow my new reality. Please, if I face any connection problems or if you don't hear me well, just let me know. I would like to say just a few things about myself so that maybe you get a better understanding of how I ended up here. My name is Martina Miličević. I'm actually based in Osijek, not in Zagreb. And from here, I'm leading talent acquisition teams from Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. My career has begun 10 years ago in the sales department, actually, after which I ended up in marketing, where I spent a few more years before I applied for a role at Transcom. And ever since I got here, I'm actually dealing with attracting and hiring talents. And what I've learned is that the sales and marketing experience that I gained before at the beginning of my career has helped me a lot with new challenges that I'm now facing in talent acquisition. So I think that the fact that I knew from the beginning and understood that I cannot rely on traditional channels and inflow that will come from that, but rather I should seek for new unconventional methods to attract new talents. And this has helped me in reaching results, but also this is a general feeling that we have in Transcom and the way how we work, and I would say the way how we reach joint results. So for the last part of my career part, I would also like to say that one of the greatest opportunities I got here was the opportunity to be involved in the expansion to Bosnian market 2 years ago. This has really taught me a lot, and I think this was the best experience and challenge I ever faced. But I will tell a bit more about that later on. I'm not sure if anyone who is present today know Transcom and what we do, so I will only spend 1 minute explaining what Transcom Worldwide is before I go to the story about what happened in Bosnia and how did we reach 400 employees by today. So we are a Swedish-owned company, and we were established in 1995. We provide customer care, sales, technical support, and all other related services for our clients worldwide. We operate in 60 contact centers, and we hire around 30,000 people today. We are present in 26 countries, and we serve in 33 languages. And what is maybe more important and interesting at this conference is our regional presence that goes back to 2005 when we opened the first center in Croatia. It was in Vukovar back then, after which we expanded to Serbia, and then Bosnia came 2 years ago. Also worth mentioning is that last year we merged with City Connect, and this resulted in expanding our regional presence even more. So we are now also present in North Macedonia and Slovenia, and for sure we have empowered our position in the whole region. And now I'm getting to the main point, and this is about Bosnian market and how we are facing with the talent scarcity, as you mentioned, Adi. So idea of joining Bosnian market has existed for quite some time in Transcom. I remember that ever since I joined, there were a talk about it. Market research was done, colleagues were really up to this idea and believed strongly that we have a great potential there. And after doing research, as Dario mentioned, we were then 100% sure that there is a potential lying actually across the country. And the toughest decision back then for us was to decide from where we will start and where will be our first center. And Sarajevo, of course, was the most obvious solution, but as we did in Croatia, we also decided to do in Bosnia to be different and to rely on the information that we got from the research. So although Sarajevo has the greatest potential, it also has the greatest competition. And we wanted to start in another place where we knew that we also have great potential in language capabilities, maybe even higher unemployment rate, and also higher willingness of candidates to work in our industry. This was really important for us. So this is how we decided to come to Tuzla. And as Dario mentioned, once everything was ready, Corona hit us. And for sure, back then we were double thinking our decision, and we had a dilemma: should we postpone it? Should we continue? But as everyone else, we thought that this is just a short-term situation, that it will pass very soon. So we continued and we started recruiting in Bosnia, actually. And I have to say, we were pleasantly surprised with the number of applications we instantly received, since we knew that Transcom doesn't have any brand awareness at the moment, nor any history in Bosnia. But what we did, we used our regional experience to show the way of working at Transcom. And also very important thing for us was the fact that we already had a digitized selection process in place. If we weren't, we wouldn't be able to hire from distance and to open a site at the desired dates back then. And I remember when we were talking to candidates back then, that they were really suspicious about the things that we were talking about, since we are constantly very transparent in our selection process, and we do sometimes we get comments that we even say too much at the beginning, but this is the fact that made them a bit suspicious, because I remember some comments, this is too good to be true. So we had to deal with this, and I believe that the fact that we included colleagues from Croatia helped us the most. So we used experiences from agents, CSRs, overheads that we already had employed in Croatia, and they were involved in this selection process that we were running for Tuzla back then. And I have to say we had two goals in mind when starting in Bosnia. So the first thing that we wanted for people to know and to understand is that they don't need to go to work abroad to find a multinational experience. So we were bringing this, and we also wanted them to understand that we are a company where they can progress based on their capabilities and their results. And the other important things for us were sharing the same Transcom culture. So it was a new site. We opened it from distance. So we really very much focused on how to copy paste Transcom culture in Bosnia, the way of working, and we wanted to get the same feeling once you enter this Transcom site as you would get if you enter Transcom site in Osijek, for example. I have to say that one of the things that I'm mostly proud of is the fact that almost all, I think we only lack one, people that we hired for support and staff functions back then are still working with us. And other amazing thing is that many of those agents who we hired from distance within the first two groups are now working as overheads and have progressed in their careers. And this is what we promised them when we were talking with them, and now seeing this happen really makes us all proud. Today, Tuzla has, with the group that will start in a few days, Tuzla will reach 200 employees, and we are still actually growing there. And as Dario mentioned, after Tuzla, we decided to go to Zenica. It happened last year. Today, we reached almost 150 people there. They are working on different projects in different languages now. And the same thing that we did in Tuzla by including Croatian employees, we also did for Zenica. So once we opened Zenica, we invited those people to come to Tuzla and to get this feeling of Transcom culture and understanding of the way we are doing. And last but not least, as Dario mentioned, is Banja Luka, which today has 70 people working for us. And the main goal we have this year is to fill Banja Luka completely. And at this point, we are very much focused on this. So this is a recap of what happened. And now I would like to say how we did it, try to explain a bit how we deal with some struggles and market depletion that we are very much mentioning today. So firstly, I think that one part is very important for the operations itself. And this is the fact that our clients appreciate very much language capabilities, but also work ethics and personalities that they get in Bosnia. And this is the reason why we can still grow there together with them. And on the other side, since this was a completely new market for us, we did research, but still even on the familiar markets, you can get surprised. So what we did is we constantly improved and changed not only our compensation packages, but also the way we were recruiting, the way we were attracting, and we were trying to react on what we saw is happening on labor market. So in recruitment, it all starts with attraction. So we are targeting potentials with desired language capabilities. This is most important. But besides that, there is some other things that we value almost the most, I would say. And this is, on one hand, communication, and on the other, there has to be a passion to serve our clients in the best possible way. So I have to say that we are looking for capabilities and personality traits. This is what candidates find interesting. We don't care about experience at all. We are convinced that if they have this perfect match, if they are a perfect match for us, we will learn them everything they need to know. And within Transcom, they can learn and grow and have a proper career path. So although we are aware of the limits that we have on the market and the scarcity that we are mentioning, we do actually a lot to adapt and to succeed in such conditions. I think it's important to mention a very important part of our company that is really helping us in achieving this. And this is a team of specialists who are working on recruitment marketing and employee experience and employer branding. We find it really important to have them at least regionally so that they can understand the culture, the needs, the labor market. So at the moment, we have local specialists who are working together with us and HR closely in order to prepare, on the one hand, compensation package that will attract and that will help us attract and retain talents. But also what we find really important and what we empower at Transcom is diversity and inclusion. And I think this allows us to break all the boundaries in any possible way. You mentioned, Adi, people from suburban areas, and we realized very quickly once we arrived to Bosnia that there is a huge potential there. And from the beginning, we are trying to attract them, to approach them, even if they are not proactively applying for jobs or looking for jobs. And here is where the support of these mentioned colleagues is highly appreciated and crucial for us. Candidates today look for certain benefits. We know that. It is no longer only about the salary and contract length. They look for so much more. And we are trying to be as much transparent as possible, but also to adapt to these needs that they are showing us. So it is extremely important to hear what they say and the way that they also handle selection processes, not only adapting to our needs, but also to theirs. Very important thing also is the fact that many candidates apply based on the experience that they heard from our existing employees. I personally strongly believe that once referral program works, that the company can believe that it's going in the right direction. Referral programs are not only an amazing recruitment tool, but they also show us are we going in the right direction and how satisfied people who are working with us are. I'm proud to say that in Bosnia, we hired 115 people with referral program last year and already 62 this year. So nothing that we could write in a job ad could ever be stronger than someone's recommendation and personal experience. And this is why we work on this a lot and we encourage this tool. I mentioned job ads. This is also something what we were working around, and it is also not enough anymore just to publish it. It is important channel for us also, but it is only a part of the mix of the things that we are doing today, especially for younger generations. We all who are working in talent acquisitions know that for them there are some other rules. So we are trying also to adapt to this, and we tried to provide all relevant information in our job advertisements, and with two goals. First goal is to attract best possible fits, because it is also important not only that he or she speaks the desired language, but also that that person find our offer interested enough that they want to work at such company as Transcom is, and so on. So this is the first thing that we are looking for. So to attract the best possible fits. On the other hand, we also want to set the right expectations. This is really important, because we are aware how important it is to retain talents. If we would only deal with attrition, we would never have such a great success as we did in Bosnia. For us, social media, I have to mention this, is working really well in Bosnia. This is something that that is a Transcom way of working for quite some years now, but we didn't know how it will go in Bosnia, and we are happy to say that it works. It helps us target better, and also to tell our story in many different ways, using different ways of telling our stories, experiences of our colleagues, and new job offerings that we have. Now I would also like to reflect on the next phase of the recruitment. So once the candidates apply, they have certain expectations in regards to the process, to the given information, but also to the feedback that they get from us. And as I mentioned already, the process that we have in place is fully digitized. So from the application to the signing of the letter of intent, I hope that as we have in Croatia, we will soon have in Bosnia also the ability to finish the complete process online, and to have a possibility to sign contracts with candidates virtually. This will help us, especially as we mentioned that we are also hiring in suburban areas. And what is also important for us within the selection process is to be quick and transparent. This is what candidates want. And in addition to this, we made sure to have it standardized. In our industry, I think this is really important, since we are not that much looking into experiences, we are relying on personality traits, and objectivity is really important in this sense. So in order to be objective and not to have biases, we only can do it by having a standardized process, and by that only we can avoid making biased decisions. Also, I would like to point out that talent acquisition work doesn't finish once we hire the people, not only because we would for sure meet them if they apply for some internal job openings, but also because we do cooperate very closely with HR in order to retain people. So decreasing attrition is a common goal, and everyone in the company has ability to influence it. At talent acquisition, we are mostly influencing early attrition by choosing the best fits, by detecting potential red flags, and but also by being transparent within this process. And HR is the second pillar that is most important for retention. I think that we are really happy and proud on the both global and local team that is working for us and that is putting much effort in satisfaction of the employees. I can give you some examples. We have so-called pulse surveys. We do that quarterly. And I can proudly say that in Bosnia, we are above global standards that we have in Transcom. And this tool allows us to detect possible areas for improvement or increases in dissatisfaction, whatever. So one concrete example that we just did recently is implementing psychological counseling for all of our employees. So by this, not only that we are showing how much we do listen what they say, but also we are convinced that we will influence the level of stress that they experience, not only in on the job and in a professional way, but also in their personal lives that we all know, and we can all, I think, say that it would benefit for us. So in general, I think, and I would like to conclude that talent acquisition would never be able to compensate high attrition or to support companies' growth. And this is why I think it is equally important to work on both attrition and retention. And although it is really challenging, for us at Transcom, this has never been a deal breaker. Even if we face lack of applicants, we simply try new channels, new ways of communications with candidates. And it is crucial nowadays to be proactive and think out of the box. So candidates are really, really aware of their possibilities, not only in Bosnia, but also abroad. And they expect us to convince them that we are the best choice. And maybe in this way, employer branding is crucial. And we are for sure working on it and taking it into consideration. I had to use this chance, Adi, to mention also one important part from the beginning. And this is the cooperation that we had with market makers. I'm not sure if they are here. Yes, they are great. So looking back, I have to say that the cooperations with them and the preparations done by our project management team were the ground that they set the ground for the success that we achieved finally. So it began from before even opening sites, and it continued, and it really allowed us to grow and to use talent potential as much as possible. So thank them. I want to thank them and to say hi to them. And I hope that we will continue like we did so far. And now I will conclude with one of my thoughts. And this is one more crucial success factor that I want to point out that we have at Transcom. And this is people working in talent acquisition. I think that if you lack passion in talent acquisition, there is no way that you can reach success, at least not quickly or as high as you wish. So I think that hiring great talent acquisition specialist is the starting point of building any ramp ups or ramping this quickly as we do in Bosnia. And these 2 first years in Bosnia are just a start for us at Transcom. As Dario said, stay tuned and we will for sure have more surprises and continue with our growth.
Thank you, Martina. It was really inspiring listening to your story. And I hope that
you... without presentation, so sorry if it was too much.
No worries. Our audience was actually seeing a video from your team buildings during the online session. So one of the questions we at ABSL are constantly asking when it comes to BPO is, how do you manage the connection between people? because there is a lot of remote work in all of the companies that are members at ABSL, and it's quite a challenge to keep the motivation high and to keep connections between people. What does Transcom do? What is the recent example? Because we internally know you're doing a lot of things, but I think the audience wants to hear more.
I can answer, then Dario can say more if I forget something. I can say for my team, we work completely remotely. So, for recruiters, motivation is really important aspect. So keeping them motivated is, I would say, the most important thing in my role. And we do it with many things, small things that we do each day. So paying attention on how they are feeling. We are communicating virtually. It's not the same, but we also try to visit as much as possible. So this human touch and face-to-face connection could never be the same as a virtual one. We recently did virtual team building. So we also have, of course, some compensation packages to keep them motivated in that sense. For CSRs, we do many on-site, since they are now on-site, especially in Bosnia, since Corona has stopped, I would say. We consider it as done. So we do special events each month. We appraise them. Every career progression, we try to motivate them also in this sense. I mentioned psychological counseling, since this is something that the stress level is increasing, not only within Transcom. I think this is something that is happening in all the region and all the positions wherever you work. So many things on HR agenda, and they are constantly improving it based on what employees tell to us in these surveys that I mentioned earlier.
So surveys matter. Thank you very much, Martina. And question for both you and Dario, when it comes to our market and when it comes to our conference slogan, Unleashing the Potential. On the other hand, the slogan of Transcom is going beyond the brilliance. What is the experience so far when it comes to our market? Did our talent pool got beyond the brilliance, or are we in a good shape, on the good path to get there with Transcom? Maybe Dario first, because you're on site.
Yeah. Like Martina already said, we are having this pulse survey each quarter. And basically the results of satisfaction of our people in Bosnia are above our, let's say, target. Let's say it like that. Also, what we are trying, to import into Bosnia as many of the new clients and the new things where they can develop their skills. So for us, it is important, to see that there is significant amount of the talent, so we can, transfer our expertise and our knowledge. Also, we are really ready to invest in their skills, especially. These skills are the skills needed for tracking, let's say, for the new industrial revolution. Yeah. So we can, closer the border between the global and the Europe to Bosnia. So basically we are connecting and importing the vision and the work and the procedure and the processes from the world in Bosnia. And I think that people are really appreciating that one. Also, we are trying to, especially when we are, let's say, 2 years in some kind of the work when we don't know in which way we should work in the future. Then we started to receive the comments of the people, especially in Bosnia, that they miss the people. Yes. It's okay to work from home. Of course, they have the possibility and option, but in some way they miss the people, they miss the team, they miss the, the feeling, what they have on site. And basically we now have this campaign, just together and try to, this time that they have been, apart, to gather the people on one place. So I think we are really on the good track. We are really satisfied with the talents and the people here, and really our team working here, and also the team supporting our operations in Bosnia is really pushing their limits, and I want to say a big thanks for them as well.
Thank you, Dario. Martina, it's your turn.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that that the talent pool that we have here is going beyond the brilliance. And as I mentioned, our clients really appreciate the quality that they get in Bosnia. This is why we reached these numbers, and this is why we have demand to grow more until the end of this year. If it wasn't like that, we would for sure struggle on the other side, not only with the talents, but also with the clients, and the most probably would try to find other locations for them. So as long as we are growing here, it means that talent pool here is great. It has great potential for us. And also I think one thing that is that is proving this point is also that we have many internal promotions. So we don't need to find potentials for overhead positions externally. So those who we hire, and I'm happy that I see that many of them are really young, maybe even starting a career with us, and then they progress here. It means a lot for them, but also for us. The best solution is always to promote internal candidates. And as long as we have potentials among our agents, it means that we are hiring people with actually higher capabilities than only for CSR positions.
Thank you, Martina. At the end of our session, before we switch to the Q&A, I would like to say a big thank you to Transcom for being the partner of ABSL since our journeys in Bosnia. ABSL came from Poland, Transcom came from Sweden and Croatia, started around the same time. So actually we started growing together. We saw you progressing, you're seeing us progressing. And I just can only wish that the progress will continue, that you guys will grow to a number of, I wish, more than 1,000 employees here on the market, and our members will grow. But really a big thank you for seeing and hearing your inspirational story every single time, what you're doing with suburban BPO, entering new markets, new microeconomic parts of the country is really a positive and extraordinary example for the market that it is possible to find and employ the right talents, go behind the brilliance in cities that are smaller or not even on the map when it comes to talent pool. So please keep doing this amazing story, because we are really looking forward to hear and see more of you guys.
Yeah, thank you also, Adi, and the ABSL for the support, and it really means a lot of us, for lots of us. Also, I just need to repeat this, quote in my introduction speech. We have a really lots of things to, get into the market, and stay tuned. We will soon be speaking about them.
Absolutely. We're now transferring to Slido. If we have any questions. So one question, Martina, I think it's a perfect fit for you to answer. What is the must-have from side of potential employee when you recruit them, besides knowledge? Because we know language matters when it comes to Transcom, but what else does matter? What does it take to go beyond the brilliance with you?
Yeah, thank you. As I said, we have a standardized process especially for CSR position. And what is most important for us, besides language, is communication skills and passion. So passion to serve our clients in best possible way. Our tests are designed and customized for Transcom and for this industry, for the role for which candidates apply. So they take into consideration how multitasking skills are working for candidates, and all the things that we are measuring and trying to answer is this candidate a good fit and will it stay with us? So the main thing that we are looking for, and the reason why we are so transparent, is because we want to hire those who will stay with us, grow, and have a career in Transcom in long term. So I hope I answered this question. So
of course,
language, but also some personality traits. It needs to fit Transcom culture.
Thank you, Martina. We reached the end of our workshop today, but we'll see each other very soon, trust me, because not only at your side, a lot of things are happening, but also on the side of ABSL. We're planning more than 24 events till the end of the year, some of them hybrid, some of them in person, some of them completely online, and of course, Transcom will be a part of it in a speaking role, an active role, as you did earlier. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this was the workshop presented to us by Transcom, Going Beyond the Brilliance. Present with us was online Martina Miličević and on-site Mr. Dario Jukić. And thank you for your attention. Our next session starts at 3:40, which is a keynote by Mr. Branimir from Vienna about nearshoring in the Western Balkans. Until that, you can have a short break and then we'll see each other at 3:40 for the final closing sessions. Thank you once again. And I would like to, Martina, to turn your microphone on because we want to give you a huge round of applause from Sarajevo. Please do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. See you at the next opportunity. So a short break and we will return at 3:40.
Bye.
Your name is Dario.